So the first card is the club, which says someone will try to make you do something against your will. So make sure you're not bullied into doing things that you're not really happy doing. And you've got the fan. There's some sort of romance, celebration, or party coming up. So watch out for that. And the pail says time to get out of a situation. So if somebody's making you do things against your will, it is time for you to leave that situation, because it's not going to bring you any, no good can come off a situation like that. So in the past, you've got the grasshopper, situations in balance that require careful handling. So you need to, you've needed to proceed very, very carefully with this grasshopper card in whatever you're doing. And, you might have been dealing with a very stubborn person. You've got the ram over here, stubborn, aggressive person. This could well be an Arian as well, because the ram signifies the Aries. So you could have been dealing with a fire sign Aries person who's been very, very stubborn. And maybe they've been making you do things that you don't want to do. Again, because they're pretty stubborn and aggressive, and it says that, it's been time for you to get out of that situation. So going to the future, you've got the wall, which shows a misunderstanding, so some sort of problem coming in, and you've got the grapes, time to go out and have some fun. So you need to lighten up a little bit, just relax a little bit, and go and have some fun. Maybe all this tension is causing misunderstandings and causing you to have problems, and maybe it's allowing you to be bullied by this person who's making you do things that you're not happy with. But it is time for you to lighten up and go and have some fun. Okay, you've got the Hanged Man over here. So it looks like it's time to air the problems that you're going through. You're a bit of a standstill at the moment, stuck in a situation with a hanged man. But it's time that you bring out all the things that you've kept hidden for a long time. And, you've got this woman's hanging the clothes out on the line. So it looks like you need to bring it out and air the problems that you're going through right now. Bring it to light, if you like. Speak and tell people exactly what's going on rather than keeping it hidden. This is a card that's usually a card of turning point, so maybe once you do that, things will change for the better for you. But it's definitely a time where you need to bring out all the secrets that you've been keeping, all the things that you've, stifled or put down, so that you don't have to deal with it. So you need to deal with these problems or situations, and you need to actually reveal things to people. Don't just sweep it under the carpet. It needs to actually come to light. So you're dealing with the Queen of Wands and maybe with the Knight of Wands. So maybe two people, maybe two fire sign people that you're dealing with. The Queen of Wands being somebody who, or this person's got this kind of energy where they're really telling you what to do, bullying you about, making you do things that you really don't want to do. She's, very much a bully, very manipulative as well, if she wants to be, and very aggressive, that kind of energy. And this Knight of Wands seems to be, somebody rushing into things. So this person, this Queen of Wands energy might be, be very aggressive, pushing you to do things and pushing you to do things quickly, stirring up a lot of problems. With the Knight, is, very aggressive energy that doesn't really think. So, maybe that you can see this child is walking around with a pot on his head and one of those pumps in his hand. So, on a bicycle. So, they're trying, and they look like they're charging into things. So maybe this person that you're dealing with, this Queen of Wands, if you don't listen to her, she gets very aggressive and she causes and stirs up problems and, ends up charging at you, trying to bully you into doing things. So this is the energy that you're dealing with at this particular moment. And maybe this is the thing that you have to bring to light, that this is the kind of energy that you're dealing with. Somebody who's very aggressive, who tells you what to do, makes you do things you don't want to do, and then when you don't listen, causes, rushes at, fights with you, really, rushes into battle with you. So in the past year, you've been dealing with the Knight of Swords, so it seems like another person that you've been dealing with. This could be an air sign person, which is a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Somebody who is obviously very sharp-tongued, also somebody with a very aggressive energy, rushing into things, causing problems. You can see that even everybody thinks that this person is wonderful. You got these two women mooning over this person, but they've got the knife in their hands. So they're sharp-tongued. They say things. They're a bit of a rebel, you can see here. And, they're also, in the tarot, a knight that rushes in, brings in a lot of anxiety and a lot of disruption. And maybe this is also the energy that you've been dealing with in the last year. Now you want things have started to change for you in the last 3 months. You got the Fool card, which is where you're starting off something very, very new, or you want to start something very, very new with the Fool card. But there's a lot of confusion going on with you. You're a bit disorganized. It seems, you're trying to do too many things at the same time. It might involve the home that you're trying to work with, or it could even involve your job. But you're very, very disorganized. Everything's up in the air. Your finances seem up in the air. You seem to be trying to do many, many things at one go. You can see this woman is very mismatched, and she's, rummaging around in her bag. So very, very disorganized. But you're trying to do things. You're trying to start something new. You're trying to go on a new pathway in life, but you haven't got it all together yet. Things are still up in the air, and you haven't come up with a proper plan. So you need to actually settle down and get yourself think about a proper plan, come up with a proper plan of action before you start rushing into doing things. Now, you've got the Two of Wands here, so you've got a decision to make as well. So that's been playing on your mind about whether to stay in the situation, or whether you want to leave it. And you're faced with that particular problem right now. You don't know what to do right now, whether to stay or whether to go, whether to stay and put up with all these problems or to leave it. So you've got the Page of Wands, some news coming in for you, and it seems like it's going to be news that's going to allow you to make some kind of move. With the Page of Wands, it's generally a positive message that comes in, and it allows movement because the wands bring that energy. Actual movement into a new direction, and it's positive. It's something that's going to help you grow with this Page of Wands. So something new coming in for you, a new shift of energy. You got the Three of Wands. You are working in a situation where you're collaborating with a lot of people, working with a lot of people as well. And, you seem to be managing to communicate quite well, and you're part of the team, and you're pretty good. You're getting help from people. Maybe people are helping you through the situation, and you do seem rather settled. They do see you as you are coming across as somebody who's settled, who's very hardworking, who's able to handle herself. Now you've got the Three of Swords, so it's the people that you're dealing with, the people around you, that are causing a lot of problems. With this Three of Swords, it's generally three different people, all of them trying to get a slice of the cake. So they're all trying to get their way, and they're all causing a lot of misery for you, a lot of grief, a lot of heartache, causing a lot of problems. So it could well be these three people here. It could be Queen of Wands, the Knight of Swords, this Knight of Wands energy kind of happening, that the other people that are involved in the situation. So the Queen of Wands and the Knight of Swords causing you to have a lot of heartache, a lot of problems, and people around that. So this is how people see the situation. That is not a good situation to be in. You are being maybe bullied by these other two people, and that's causing a lot of heartache and a lot of problems for you. You're very, very miserable. And, you're trying to preserve, maybe you have, you perceive you have financial problems, so you're trying to save money. You're trying to make sure that you're not overspending. You're trying to hang on to the things that you have, hang on to your possessions, save whatever you have worked for. That's what you are scared. You're scared you're going to lose. If you make any kind of fuss about anything, you feel like you will lose everything, or you will lose everything you've worked very hard for. So going into the future, you've got the Page of Swords, Judgment, and the Seven of Wands. So the Page of Swords is watch out for somebody coming in to cause problems. The Page of Swords is a troublemaker, generally. So either a message that causes trouble coming in for you, or some actual person going around stirring up problems and causing trouble. Very childish behavior coming through with this Page of Swords card. So watch out for somebody around you. Could be another air sign, but it's generally somebody who is really causing problems and behaving in a very, very childish manner. You can see this little kid putting handprints on the wall, so stirring up a lot of problems. And a child with the scissors is never a good thing. So watch out. even though it looks like it's innocent things, it doesn't look like it's going to amount to anything. A child with the scissors can cause a lot of damage, fatal damage. So watch out. These messages could be very detrimental to you. So it is time to make a decision with the Judgment card. This is the fork in the road. This is the big decision, and this is what the universe is telling you to do. You have to make a decision to leave the situation and walk away from it. You've got to transform yourself. You've got to take the power back into your hands, and you have got to leave it and move to something different, because there's a lot of aggressive energy within the spread, and it seems like the universe is telling you it's time to let go of it and move into something different. Maybe resurrect something that you haven't done in the past. You haven't finished or completed a project in the past that you need to go back to and leave the situation behind. So it is a turning point that you're reaching, and it is a major turning point. And also, if you don't make that decision, the universe will make it for you with the Judgment card. So something coming in that will make that decision for you. You've got the Seven of Wands. Maybe whatever you go back to is going to, whatever decision you're going to have to make. The Seven of Wands is generally a card of defense. You've got to stand up for yourself. And they've got the toilet here and toothbrushes. Even if that decision that you're going to make is going to seem so difficult, it's going to seem so awful, almost like cleaning a toilet with a toothbrush. That's how awful that decision is going to be, what you have to do to get out of that situation. Then you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to stand up and defend yourself, and you'll have to do whatever it takes to get out of that situation, even if it means working really hard at something to get out of that situation, or doing something you really don't want to do. I mean, who wants to clean the toilet with a toothbrush? I don't think anybody does. So you really have to defend yourself, stand up for yourself, and do what it takes to get yourself out of that situation, especially with this Judgment card, because there is a lot of chaos around you. There's a lot of problems around you, and you're very, very unhappy in the situation, even though you seem to be, you're working pretty hard at what you're doing, but you're so scared of losing things. But right now, if you continue in that vein, there's still always going to be some trouble coming in for you. So it looks like you have to make that decision. It's a time to weigh the pros and cons now. Look at your situation, decide how you're going to tackle it, and do it. This woman wants to lose the last few kilograms, so she has to decide how she's going to restrict herself. So it might take some sort of sacrifice on your part, but you have to move away from the situation. It's time for a big change for you. And no matter how unappealing the solution to the problem is, you need to stand up for yourself, defend yourself to the hilt, and do what it takes to get yourself out of this situation. So you've got the Queen of Water, which says relationships develop to a new level, trust your intuition, care for yourself and others. So with the Queen of Water, it is a card showing a little bit of depression over here, but you need to take care of yourself, and you need to get out of that phase of feeling miserable. Take back your emotional control. The Queen of Air, you've got objective decision making, clearing away all that is no longer serving you, and seeing the humor of the situation. So you need to get some independence back, and you need to make a decision without being emotional. So although you're feeling very depressed, you need to actually make a very objective decision on what you're going to do in the situation. And the King of Air says, speak your mind with confidence, seek out professional advice, balance mental and emotional considerations. So you might need to go and get some sort of counseling, some sort of legal advice with the King of Air as well could be helpful to you to move forward. So seeking some professional advice, and make sure that you're acting with confidence and speaking your mind up. So you might require some sort of legalities, or maybe the advice of a lawyer, or you could require some sort of counseling where it allows you to see the situation in a very independent, objective way, and make a decision about leaving it and how to leave it as well.